Hi folks, I'm Jason Irwin of Jason and Bronwyn Irwin Horsemanship, and I'm going to give a few tips here on how to pony a horse. So first rule is get moving. The longer that I stand still, the more time that horse that I'm ponying has to maybe swing around and get wrapped up in the rope or get us in some kind of trouble. So I'm going to go along here and I'm going to go in a big circle, just kind of turning here to the right. And if I was working with a weanling or a yearling, this would be especially true because a lot of times they're not going to cover as much ground as what the saddle horse is. So by going this way, the horse on the inside doesn't have to move quite as much as the horse on the outside, meaning the saddle horse. Now right there too, I'll just pull him off balance a little bit if he hangs back. A lot of times at the start of this, they're going to be way back there. So in this case here, I'm going to give little pulls and releases on the lead rope if that horse is hanging back. Now this one also likes to play with the lead rope too, so that's a different little thing that we'll iron out here. But anyways, if he's about there, that's pretty decent. But if he slides back to say there, then I'm going to give a little tug and put him up here where he should have been. And once they have the idea, then I'm going to go ahead and start riding in a straight line like this. I would like to have a little bit of slack in the lead rope, but at the same time, I'm more than willing to kind of reach back there and help them a little bit as need be. So that's not too bad. Now, the reason that I don't turn to the left in the beginning, and I'm intentionally going to make a little bit of a mistake here, so I'm going to bring him up and pause. The reason that I'm not going to make a sharp turn to the left at the very start is, if I really turn left, that positions the saddle horse's hindquarters towards the horse that I'm ponying. In that case there, the horse that I'm ponying might feel like it's about to get kicked and then want to set back from this horse. This is especially true if the horse that you're leading is young or kind of a nervous type. So I would rather go right in the very beginning, and then once they have the idea, you can go wherever you feel like going. Another thing I'm going to start to do here now is I'm going to ride along and I'm going to stop my horse. And I would like this horse that I'm ponying to stop about where you see right here. So that was actually pretty darn good. A lot of times though, what's going to happen is you're going to stop and then the horse is going to try to pass you. So in that case, one thing you can do is this. Go forward, and then I'm going to stop and check this lead rope back up here. That'll give him a little bit of a bump, and that'll help stop the horse. The other thing you can do is just reach down and give a little tug, especially if you're working with a smaller one. So all I mean by that is ride forward, whoa, and then just kind of reach down here and give a little bit of a bump if you need to. So just use your own judgment on that one. Another thing I would like to work on here for just a minute is I would like to have it where this guy would back up when I'm up here. So I'm just going to bump on the halter till he takes one step back. It's not too bad. Take another step. Not too bad. And I would play around with that for a few minutes. It's not very tricky, but it is important because if they'll back up, usually they'll also stop better beside you when you stop. So I would play with that until the horse got the point. Then what I would make a point of doing is riding forward, stopping, and then going right into a backup from there. So I'm just going to ride ahead here. Going to stop, and then I'm going to go right into the backup and then pause. And that's not very smooth, but the more you play with it, the more they'll just back up nice and easy. One big benefit of ponying horses is you're a lot taller when you're up here. So one thing I like to do is make a point of reaching out here, kind of rubbing the horse on the head, playing with the ears. If you have a horse that's a little bit head shy, this is a really good time to work on this because obviously on the ground that horse can just raise its head up to where you can't get a very good hold of it. But here it's pretty darn easy to reach out, kind of rub on that horse's ears, get them used to being worked with up there. Another thing you can do is I'll go ahead, I'm going to move my saddle horse over a step, and now I'm going to reach over and kind of rub over this guy's back. Now I don't want them getting across there, but I'll kind of rub on his back a little bit, lean over him, and like this, doing that type of thing. Later on, when I go to get on this guy here for the first time, he's already used to having somebody up here above him, leaning over him, so the first time I step up in the saddle, it shouldn't be too big a shock. If you're going along and you're finding that you're dragging the horse a little too much, I will reach out here and just put a dolly around the horn. I don't really want to drag him along per se, but if he's really stuck, I'd rather the horn and the horse that I'm riding do a little bit more of the work and my arm do just a little bit less. So it's fine to dally around and just kind of help that horse figure out what he's supposed to do there. Now, I'm definitely not having this problem with this guy here because he likes to hang back. But if you have one that's trying to pass the saddle horse all the time, one thing you can do is let out the lead rope a little bit longer. And then as the horse passes, like he is kind of here, make a sharp turn to the left. He'll run into the halter and then that'll pull him back to where he should have been. So if you make some sharp turns to the left, maybe walk or trot a few squares to the left, that'll keep putting that horse back where he should be. And then eventually he'll just lose that desire to pass the saddle horse. If you're standing still and the horse swings around like this, instead of trying to straighten the horse out, what I would rather do is turn my saddle horse slightly to the left and then just ride forward. That'll just pull this one back around to straight, bring him up where he should have been, and then stop again. But that's a lot simpler than trying to get yourself out of a little bit of a mess. So thanks very much, folks, for watching this training video. If there are any topics or questions that you would like covered in a future video, just go ahead and throw them in the comment section, and hopefully I get to that one before too long. Bye for now.